Welcome back to Career Build Series, episode number 75. And so we're starting to work here on some equipment for coal mining. And so we bought Dremore and we bought Spy Cakes. And so those are up by the coal mountain. And so that's a little bit of a different mining regime and technique. And so in that mining, you have to go into the mountain. And so the roofs are there, the ceilings are reasonably high, but they're not incredibly high, and so we kind of have to use like an underground method. And so there's a machine that I like that is kind of like this. It has these spinners that will knock the coal in, and so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make a separate vehicle that will allow me to actually grind, and then I want one that I put underneath that will pick up. And so it adds a little bit more complexity to it, but it gives me more to do, and I find it to be more enjoyable to have a couple steps. If you watched the last career build series, I made an excavator and a front end loader, and so the excavator would drill and the front end loader would scoop and pick up what the excavator had drilled. And this is a similar type of thing that I'm going to be doing here, is going ahead and making this a multi-stage process that allows me to have a little bit more fun with it and to get more involved. And so what I'm currently building here is going to be the pickup. And so this is going to, as the name suggests, pick up the dropped coal. And so this is going to go underneath the area where the miner is actually going to be drilling. And so just trying to set this up currently. And I'll kind of show you how this works. This is actually based off of some real mining equipment, some real coal mining stuff. And so I'll show you that later, but it's, it has the spinners that feed the coal in. So you would come in and you could either scoop or you go in there. And so what I'm hopefully going to do is drill above this. The coal will drop down, and then this will feed it into hoppers. And then I'm going to have this dump the coal in. So let's see. I think I kind of want to cut that there, and then I really don't like the look of the hoppers and the ducting, and so kind of trying to hide it a little bit. I don't think we'll hide it that much, but let's go like this, and then we'll grab like this. But I'm not a huge fan of how they look, so I like to kind of cover them, and it makes it look a little bit more industrial. All right, so this is going to be the scooper, and so this will go, and then it will feed the coal into these hoppers, and then they'll convey out, and they'll go ahead and be dumped. Let's do this. All right, so I'll kind of show you how this works here in a second. Yeah, we'll do a little. I've been doing a bunch of testing, so this should work reasonably well. Let's go ahead, and for now, I'm just going to go. Let's see, we'll go right here. I can't do that. Let's go up one. All right, so I'm just going to take a hopper like so. Probably that was fine. So we'll grab a hopper here, and then this one will go like that. And then we want to grab a funnel. And that will go like that. And then I can delete out all this block here. All right, so that's deleted out. And then what I want to do is I want to take these, and I don't want them to fill with coal. I want them to be empty. All right, just like that. Then I want to do a throttle. Throttle is going to control these spinners, and those are going to actually feed it in. And then I want to toggle just for the funnel. Yeah, so this just makes it a little bit more interesting. So toggle is going to come to the funnel, and then the throttle is going to go to these. So what we'll do is we'll start these out. And this one should have coal in it. And so this will sit underneath the vein of coal wherever we're mining. The spinners will go on, as you can see, and then the coal will start to drop. And as you can see, the coal will kick it in there. And as you can see, it is increasing the volume. So as they fall in, these spinners are kicking the coal into the hoppers. And so it makes it a little bit more interesting than just, the standard old, trying to scoop it up. And so those kick in, and I think that's kind of a neat solution there. So let's actually save this as here. I'll show you the little, the tiny little miner I made. So this is what I made. So it's kind of like a Bobcat style skid steer. And so it has arms on it, as you can see. And this is pretty light, pretty easy, and it's going to just reach up and drill, and then that thing will come along on the other side, and it will scoop up and pick up. And so hopefully that will sit underneath. That's one thought. The other thought is they actually have some machinery. Let me find it and I'll show you. So this is the machine here I'm thinking of, and if you look, it has a couple of those spinners, and so it actually drills itself. It drills the roof. These look like retaining plates. It looks like a steel plate with a drill in there, and so these would help keep the ceiling stable. And so this comes in and drills, and so these would knock down the ore, and then you would drive forward, scoop it up, and it would kick it in, and then the conveyor belt system, as you can see, it's on tracks. I might try to build this. This would be kind of interesting. So let's try this and see if we can't get something like that going. You know, it often takes me quite a few iterations to get something that I'm happy with, and so let's see. I think this will actually be better to do it like this. So I can do two things. One, as you can see there, we have the ducting area. That can actually, I could put some funnels on there, but they will drop if I just put them over. So what I'm going to do is probably put them over right about there. Let's see if I can't get 3 in there, and we'll see where we're at. This, I think, might be a little bit more fun. Maybe make it one vehicle. Kind of make it like the one we just had there. And so let's get a central drill here. And so that would be, I don't know why I accidentally pushed it out, but like that. And so this would drill the ceiling, but I need to get the bottom part up against. So we have to make it extendable drills. So the drills it's actually reasonably convenient because the drills themselves don't need any piping. And the reason that I hate doing piping is this is the size of a duct. And of course, in real life, you could be using a belt. You see, that's the smallest duct. So a 3x3 cube, that's just enormous. And so they don't, it makes it very difficult to make things look good. I think the devs often will make things oversized, and it makes it very difficult to make things look good. And so it'd be kind of nice if they would kind of change to a miniaturization regime where it would just make things a lot more compact. I would really appreciate that from them. So this also has higher sides. I'm just looking at the reference. So let's put on some higher sides. That'll make it easier to make sure we're not spilling coal. And it's probably something like that. And then we'll just cut up like that. So it actually goes pretty straight on the sides. I'll go, can we do? 2. I'm trying to count numbers. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we can do 2s. So let's see. Where are my wedges? Right there. Okay. So let's do 2s here. And so we'll put a little bit of an angle on it, like so. So yeah, it doesn't go as high as mine, so let's go ahead and let's knock mine back down so it doesn't need as much shielding there. So I don't know, I'm kind of digging the way I had it. I don't think it's going to be a problem. You know, if we spill some too, it's not the end of the world. The the coal and the other minerals, unless they've changed it recently, they actually reproduce pretty quickly, and so you get new veins really fast. They'll come back pretty quickly, so you don't have to worry too much if you waste any. It really doesn't cause you any problems. All right, so that's kind of that, and so this will go and sit underneath. Then these drills will slide forward. So what you'll do is, since most of the veins are on the wall in the mountain, you'll put this lip right up against there, and then these drills will drop straight down because the wall will, keep them there. So they'll fall straight down. They'll fall in here. These will be spinning and hitting them and knocking them into the hoppers. So let's go ahead and if we can do fixed drills, that would be even easier, but it's not a huge deal if I have to move them. So right there, the issue is as we go up, the angle is going to go, so as we rotate these up, because we need to rotate them up like this, they naturally will go backwards. And so I need some sort of sliding mechanic to be able to push these forward. Let's go down one like that, I think. I'm trying to see if that is... I want to make sure it's flush with the top of this. Okay, that is. So that's flush with the top of that. All right, so that will actually work. And I'm trying to think of the best way to power this. Diesel electric would be really convenient, I think, because I like the electric drive system on the tracks. It's going to be tracked. And I like having the electric on the drills. I think will be just most convenient. I don't need this to be super fast drilling, and part of the reason, like, a lot of people will just throw a large electric motor on it right off the bat. One of the reasons I don't want to do that is this machine isn't going to, like, fill up, drive out, and empty outside. It's going to stay inside, and it's going to essentially convey this ore up and just dump it into a vehicle to take it outside. And so I don't need this to move a ton, and I don't need to hold a ton, so... All right, so these definitely going to have to slide. Let's go ahead and, like, I lost my train of thought there, but, like, what I was going to say is, so some people put large motors on there because they want to drill quickly and then go and then dump it quickly and kind of move on the process. This, if I go the other way, if I go kind of slow with these small motors, what I can do is leave this in there drilling, and it will take a little bit of time for it to fill up. And then when I dump it in the waiting vehicle to take the ore outside, I can leave this running. I don't have to stop it. And so there's two schools of thought. One is, let's say you moved it at 20 RPS and it had a certain volume that it would accumulate. And if you moved it at 1 RPS, well, that means you could be gone for 20 times the amount of time and it would still fill up. And so this allows me to actually kind of leave a little bit more and go, dump it where it belongs. All right, so I'm trying to think of the best way to move this. So it doesn't have to move very far. And so I think what's going to be the best bet is do a track. All right, do one of these track systems here. And so what I will do is go, so we'll do like, it doesn't need to go far. As you can notice, it is right at the edge there. So it might need to go, say, 3 tracks at most. And then what we'll do is we'll put the actual drive on there like so. And then we will go 3 tracks back. And that will, so this will start in kind of the middling position. Actually, you know what? I don't need it to go any far back because this is already, within the space. So I don't even need to go back. And then this can go down. So this will go down. The issue is I then cut out my hopper. So actually, I probably don't want to do that. So let's go like that. So let's think. I might want to... This is just easy using this. Let's keep that. This is just easy. You just go up, you just go down, it slides back and forth. It's not a pain. And then what I want to do is put some pivots on there. Just do some power pivots, and maybe we'll stick them... So they have to go up if they go the other way. All right, so I want this to look kind of beefy. I could pass power through here, but I'm probably not going to. That's a thought. So I might run it via diesel instead of electric. Let's do that. That's a little bit more of a engineering fun thing to do, is pass the torque through, and then I can actually run it off of the main drive system. All right, so that's a lot wider than I'd like it to be. Yeah, it's a little bit wide for how I'd like it. So that's the armature there, and then what we'll do is we'll cut in like so. All right, and then we'll do some T-piece pipes here. And so I think this will be a little bit more fun to have it direct drive diesel. It'd be a little bit easier, definitely isn't the right word. The electrics are just super duper easy. But what this will allow me to do is I can gear it, I can change the rate, I can do all that to kind of make it operate how I want if I do it this way. All right, let's grab you and let's kind of dress up this arm a little bit. All right, and so this will be the arm there. Let's try flat and see how that goes for me. So I like that. That looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and we'll just put in a there. So that's the arm. So this will go up and it can also slide forward. This isn't going to work. No, that will work. I can put in piping through here, and then this will pass up. That needs to go on the top. Ugh. All right, so these need to be rotated to be able to accept torque. And then they need to be... nope, I think I had it the right way before. I did. There we go. Okay. So these just need to be rotated to be able to accept torque. So, but I think it's a little bit more fun. Is it more challenging? Is it more work to do? Yeah, but that's more fun for me, is to add a little bit of, interesting operation to this. Make it a little more of a challenging setup is a little bit more rewarding than just making it super duper easy. Okay, let's go ahead and take off symmetry, and then I want to go do the pat yellow. This whole thing's going to end up being pat yellow. Let's go ahead and I'm going to do, yeah, so I'm kind of really digging on this being one object now. I think this is going to be fun to operate. That's a big part of it, is it going to be fun to operate? And I think this will be. All right, so there we go. That also adds some interest to it. What I might do is, I'm worried about the height. The height's fine, but yeah, that one block's not going to destroy my height. I could tip these forward. I think I'll do that anyway. It's a little bit unnecessary, but it's tip this forward like that. All right, we'll tip this one. Okay, why won't you let me pick it? There we go. All right, we'll do that, like so. All right, we'll remerge these. There we go. Okay, and then I'll cut this like so. There we go. So we'll do it like this, just to make it a little bit lower profile. I think will be kind of cool. It's nice having pipes and everything hanging off. They're good detailing, and if it actually is functional, I don't have to worry about the detailing. It kind of makes it look detailed. All right, so that's good. So that will pass torque through the sliding track into the drills, and we can have a diesel actually run that. So that's good. I like that. All right, so this is cool. And then, so I'm going to need something to probably tip this whole unit. So because I need to tip the unit, I need to, where's my, so all that's red. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make this not red. I usually try not to build the accessory before I build the main body, but I've done it again where I built the accessory before the main body, so it's not a huge deal. I just have to get everything, and so this block that I attached there will turn red when I cut all of this. And that's the main body. So that will be main body, and this will be, the armature, because I want to be able to tip this this area here up, because I won't be able to go up any sort of hill if I can't tilt it just gently. So it doesn't have to tilt much, but it does have to tilt in order to be able to go. So what I need is, in order to run through, unless I put a separate motor on here, which I don't plan on, I also need to consider how I am working my funnel system. So let's put the funnel system in first. So we have ducts, which, again, I really dislike how huge all of this is. Like, they could have made this, 3x1 block and make it a belt piece, and that would look really cool, and I think that would function better, but they didn't. All right, and so we'll stick that like that, and then so this is where the duct is going to have to go. And I'm actually thinking of a neat way to do this. IRL, it's a belt. I could put it in just a simple box. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I'm trying to think, do I go under here? I could. Yeah, I'm trying to think how much I have to tilt this. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and we will. All right, so I'm going to expect this part to articulate. Then I need to make a new part that's going to be part of the base. So let's go ahead and see, I have this angle up already. So let's go ahead and go down from here. And I need at least one block off the ground. So we'll say there. Okay, so that is one block. And then what we'll do is, okay, so let's cut that. Let's put a funnel. Put a funnel here, like so. All right, so the funnel will be here, and the funnel will spit into a hopper. How close can I get this hopper before it rebels and tells me no? Within one block, so it should pick it up, especially if I can get block underneath it. So it can go that close. And so this part will articulate, and this will spit it in there. All right. And then if I wedge it up, that should ride over objects. So go like that. All right, and hopefully that will spit in there and not give me a ton of problems. Let's see if I can put two wedges on there. You know, you see what I'm talking about once I kind of get the articulation. I'm trying to think ahead of all the problems this is going to have, and so I think this will help it because I need, you know, if it's sloped like this, it will allow it to slide up over objects with the tracks. And so we'll cut there. That'll be track allowance there. We'll even go there for track allowance. I want some big honking tracks on here. And so this is going to lift up, not tip. So because it's going to lift up, I can go flat face. And so what this is hopefully going to do is box this in so that this funnel will be able to spit and it will still go into there. Let's check all the colors. Good. So that should stay red. All right, nice. And so let's start building some ducts out. So that's my one hopper, and then I want a duct. I'm trying to think how I can bend this. So let's go ahead and I will continue with some block under here. So this will be the base of the unit. All right, and then we'll do another hopper because I need to articulate this in multiple areas. So I'm articulating this area. This area is going to lift up so that I can get over obstacles. And then this is going to, so that needs to be able to spit into this hopper and then move. And then I need to have a little bit of a chute coming off the back that can dump into a cart. So we'll go essentially, we're just essentially re-replicating this. And then this will, so I just need to dig into the ground a little bit. So we'll go ahead and we'll do a 4 wedge here. And so these wedges have smaller collisions so that you can actually tip things towards them and they will not have an issue. So what we're going to do here is go like this. And so, you know, it can be challenging to think ahead this much, but it does, if you can do it, it really does help to, you know, build. So let's go ahead and we'll actually go like this. All right, and then I want, of course, I want a 1x3 wedge, which we won't get. I can make it, but it won't have the collisions, and I need the collisions. So we'll go like that. So what this is doing is making a channel because this part's going to tip down, and so I still need that. I need to be able to allow in there. If you put two immovable objects in game against each other, that's when you're going to get phantom physics and have issues. All right, good. And so this is actually moving along pretty well. And then what I want to do is I want to get more of these power pivots, like so. And I need to, oh, this is going to be a problem here. I need to look in here and figure out what I'm doing here. So right here, I'm going to have an issue. if I want to make this actual drive via diesel. See, I can't, I need to go in under here to be able to feed through the torque. I'm not going to be able to do that. Okay, so what I can do is I can put a... So we'll do that, and this is going to have to hook up to something else. What I can do is actually put a diesel right here if I want a diesel, and I can put electric if I want electric, so that's fine. But it's not going to be able to go through that track segment, which is not a big deal. Okay, so that's fine. It actually will make certain things easier to do. All right, so what I'm going to do is grab these, and I'm going to make sure these orient correctly. I'm going to stick them right here. And they'll go like that, and we'll put that in place, and then, oh, I want to move them out one. So we'll move this out one, so we'll cut it out, paste it, cut this one out, paste it. All right, and then we'll go ahead and we'll move both these together. Cut that. These will go to here. All right. Merge this green part to the red frame. What do you want? You want to have a block under you to do it? You do, don't you? It wants a block, so we can give it a couple blocks here because I want to save all that, preserve all the space for tracks. So there we go. Needed some helper blocks. And so that's now there. And then this will connect to there. This will connect to there. All right, so that's going to be what tips this up. All right. And then this can go up and down and then forward to be able to drill seams. This will be pressed up against the wall because pretty much all the nodes in that mountain are on the wall. Very nice. Okay, so this is actually coming along pretty well, I think. Let's go ahead and we'll grab 1x4 wedges here. So I have one there. And just kind of cover this area here. So right, probably about there is good. Cover that. All right, and so cover all the way up to here, and then I need that. Oh, where did I screw up? I screwed up already. Okay, so that is gonna be needs to be covered here. So let's go ahead and do a wedge. Let's do a 2x. So that will cover this area here, and then this part here needs to tip up, and so this can it needs to be able to come up a little bit. And so I can put, if I want to kind of cover it a little bit like that, we can do that, and that will articulate fine. What I'll do, I think, instead of that is do this, and I'll go up and over it like so. Let's go like that, and then block, block, and then across, like so. Okay, and that will kind of, that will give me a little bit more room. So I don't need that, so the longer the spout is, the less angle it needs to turn. So now I need to be able to put something to turn this. So this needs to pivot, and so I'm going to have to go... All right, it's going to pivot off here, so I need to... So my tracks are getting are going to be getting wider and wider. Not the end of the world, but not exactly how I wanted it. So let's go grab this, pivot again. So the more complex it is, the more I like it. It's just, it gives me more to do, and I like that. Okay, so that's backwards. Of course it is. And I'll press U and check it now. Yep, so that's the correct way. So the arrows are facing this way. That will pick it up. So you'll start to see how this comes along once I get moving here. So let's go get some ducts. All right, and then we'll start ducting in here. Nope, get out of there, you. And I don't mind seeing this part a little bit. So this will go all the way in the back like so, and then it will have a funnel like this. All right, and so this part, oh, camera flicking. So this part will tip up, and then you'll have the funnel on the bottom, on the end there, and then you'll drive some vehicle under. So let's get it up on some tracks, and I want to see where it's going to sit. And so Just because of the tracks, this is going to have to be a little bit fatter than I'd like, but that's all right. It's not the end of the world to have it a little bit on the fat end. And that can't be cut there. That's fine. So let's go ahead and let's extend it one more. Also lets me make it a little bit beefy looking, which I kind of dig. Yeah, it's supposed to be a heavy-duty machine, so giving it some different facets, some different shapes will make it look interesting. All right, so that is there. All right, so we need to start putting in some tracks. So let's go wheels. I'm thinking, what do we want? Drive wheels, medium at the minimum, I'd say. And then we need to raise this, so I need to raise it up. Okay. And that's probably too high. I want it low. It's, you know, it's supposed to go in a coal mine, so it's going to sit there. And then we'll extend out the back section. The real one's pretty long. Grab you. There you are. Okay. Maybe there, I'm thinking. Let's try that. And I didn't mean to do that. All right, let's spawn it in, see how the tracks look. See if they're clipping anything, if they're being all right. All right, good. So this is tracked. I can probably, could it go wider on the tracks? I don't know. I don't mind them like they are. They look pretty good. Sticks out a little bit, but not a ton, which I dig. All right, good. And then that's looking pretty good. And so this will tip up a little bit so I can go over obstacles. This one's right here is what I want to tip. So let's start putting some, let's actually just slam a seat on there. Sometimes the seats are actually the most convenient. And I'm just going to stick it right there. There'll be two of them, but it's not a big deal. So generally what I'll do is, I know the tracks are going to work. So let's do WS. Where the hell is it? WS, come on, man. There is WS. So WS is going to control this tilt here. Okay. And then I want up, down. We'll control this. All right, then I'm just going to use the up, down on WS on this one to control this. All right, and so I just want to get them all kind of reasonable. So WS here will be sticky, like 3%. Up, down will be sticky, 3%. And then what I use WS on this one, so it'll be 3% sticky. Let's go ahead and spawn it in. All right, and we'll see how this all works for us. All right, so WS. So that part articulates. I don't have any binding yet. It doesn't need to go all the way up. It just needs to go enough. And as you can see how the funnel is right there? So that funnel still should be spitting pretty close to in there. And so this when it's up against the wall, let's kind of simulate this. So I can't drive it right now, but this will go like that. And so you push this up against the wall. Then this part here will go up. And then because as you can see, as I raise it up, it's coming more and more back. That's what the sliding track is for, is to slide that up against. It will drill. The coal will fall straight down from the drill bits. And it will fall in there where those are spinning and feeding it into the hoppers. That will then spit it into the middle channel, which will spit it into this part here, which it can articulate. Now, I might be able to get that little middle section out. I don't know yet. So let's swap seats, and let's see how high we can go with the duct. Is it not doing it? All right, so the duct is not doing anything. Let's see why you're not hooked up. So we need to check the duct. I need that duct to raise up high enough that it will... All right, what's that? That is rotation target. Okay, so your rotation target. Let's check all the colors. Okay, so that's because the duct is still part of this. All right, that's fine. So we need to separate this into a different color. So let's cut that. And let's merge this. So for me personally, the more complex the machine is, the more rewarding it is to learn how to operate it. So that's why I tend to complicate things. Is it's more rewarding for me. You know, if it's super simple, it's like it's like, if it's all automated and you just press one button, it does it all. Like, imagine if it could sniff out coal and you just do all that. I'd be so bored because it's like, why am I here? So what we want to do is see how much we can tip that up, which, as you can see, I'm looking for any sort of like really crazy nonsense, like this shaking like crazy. And as you can see, it's not. And so part of that is you see how I put the wedges in, so it's not actually hitting any block. When the blocks try to force their way through one another, that's when you'll get issues. And so the blocks are not forcing. So that could probably be 1 to 2 blocks longer. And so that can raise up quite a bit, and hopefully the funnel will spit in there fine, and then it will go ahead and dump. So that's pretty good. So this is articulating pretty well as of yet. So let's go ahead and let's copy you and push that out there. All right, make that a little bit longer. Okay, so now that has a better reach. And you don't want the tracks to go all the way back. These machines, I'll bring up another picture for you guys and you can kind of see it. So there's an absolutely horrific picture. Trying to find some of the other pictures, not going great. But as you can see, it sticks off quite a bit in the back. It's a conveyor belt, so it's much easier to do this not in game because you just put it on a conveyor belt and it works. Of course, we're doing it in the game, so it's a little bit more challenging. All right, so what I think I'd like to do is put a drive system on one side and then command all these things, all these functions. So let's kind of finish up some of this control. So let's do 1, we'll move this up. 2, we'll move this down. Let's go ahead and we'll start to cut in some motors. So I don't need a ton of motors for these tracks. This doesn't need to go fast. It really doesn't. So let's see if it's possible for this to operate. So that will go to there, which comes out. Okay, yeah, that's capture. That's not going to work. I can't pass through. That's fine. So diesel electric, I did that on the front end loader and on the excavator. And one of the benefits is I will be using multiple vehicles because I'll need to bring in a vehicle that can carry the ore. And so what a diesel electric will do is the diesel will rev up and it will produce electricity to feed the batteries to then feed all the electrical operations. And when I step away, when I go out, say, to take the coal and put it into a vehicle that can drive on the road and go deliver it where it's going, while the machinery is inside, still running, charging. So even if you're using more electricity than you're making, when you go away for a minute, it's going to recuperate that electricity. So actually, it works pretty well. All right, so let's say that's hooked up. Let's go ahead and put some electric motors on here. This just makes the track drive system much easier as well. So what I tend to do is WS will be reset now. 3% is fine. That will be left track. All right, and then up, down, I will do right track. I like to independently control my tracks because I find that more engaging and fun. WS, let's see where WS is going. WS is the main boom section. So I'm kind of going primary out so that the further you get out. And then this one here is going to be probably left, right. So that's, let's see, nope, okay, so this needs change. So WS up, down. So this is going to be left, right. Nope, I want this AD. So where are we at here? AD. And then left, right will be here. 1 and 2, I already put in as 1 and 2 or that. All right, so this one, let's get rid of you here. Seat, you can go. So we'll have 1 seat. And as you can see, it's the height of the head of the driver is going to be about the top of the drills anyways. So this keeps it low profile. Do we really need as low profile in this vehicle as I'm making it? No. But it's a little bit good for RP. The mines are much shorter IRL, so it's, some of them. And so it's kind of neat to have that, kind of RP that way. All right, so let's go ahead and then... So where's WS? WS is going to be port track motors, and then up, down is going to be the starboard. Oh, clicked the wrong crap here. Right there. And then, so already tested out that duct. That seems to work fine. All right, so this is falling, which isn't great, but I can back it up with pistons potentially. Doesn't like being on that track, but I could double it up to make it stronger. Okay, so let's go ahead and go. I want to go, it's AD. Oop, oop, oop. I don't know why that is sliding forward. So is it on reset? Oh, they're still on reset. I didn't set them up, so let's fix those. So those are sticky 3%. Keep the percentage low so that they don't go flicking around really fast. And then this here, the linear track, I want that a little bit slower. So let's go down to like 0.3. So slowing all that down is going to be helpful. All right, so let's go ahead and we want to go AD. So that tips, as you can see, that's tipping this bucket mechanism here, like so. And so that's really just so that I can get in and out of the mine. So as I'm driving, if I have to go up a little bit of a slope, I can do that. Then I will go ahead and I will tip this up against the wall, and then I will raise this boom up, and then I will push it forward so that it's contacting the patch. Okay, those are on toggle. That's why those are misbehaving. So let's fix that. So it'll be like this. And of course, the higher I go with those drills, as you can see, they come in. So if I go, that's about max height. As you can see, that's going to have the fall directly down the wall and land in there. We'll have those spinners. Those will be kicking it into the hoppers. Then this funnel here in this section will spit it into this hopper here, which will collect it. And then that one will spit it in here, which will, this one will go up, and then you'll drive a vehicle underneath here, which will collect it. So this can sit on a spot for a little bit, and it should have a reasonable capacity. So see how this mineral duct, they're all add together. So we have 243 coal will sit in here. And so that will give it a second to accumulate some as it dumps. And so that's a good system. I think this is working pretty well. All right, so let's fix a couple issues. So one issue here is 1 and 2 should be pushes, not toggles. Now let's give it a quick run and see how it behaves this time. All right, and so we want to go up with those, and then I want to go out. So that is sliding. Why are you sliding? See how it wants to slide back? I don't want it to slide like that. Don't dig that. Do not dig that. I could put it on and use pistons. It doesn't need to go very far. The problem is I only get about 1 meter forward, which is 4 blocks, and I'm going 3 blocks, so I could do that. Let's try that. So let's cut this out. Let's do this first. Let's be smart. Let's do underground coal miner. One of the recent videos I showed off one I had been working on that was another concept. I prefer this quite a bit to that. Okay, so that's that. This will tilt on this. So the other thing is, can I cut here? So I'm going to make this so that this is just we'll go like this, and we'll put a wedge block in there. That will make it so that this has no chance to collide and potentially make that move a little bit more smoothly, because this will rotate and there'll be no collisions there. So that's sometimes do that. And then if you wanted to block that in, you can go like this, and now that has like no collisions touching it, giving it problems. And let's see if I can make this so that it's diesel drive again, or it's driven out of here. So I actually probably can if I do it this way. Yeah, so let's go ahead, and so this needs to be put back on tracks. Okay, so that's not going to work if it's like that. So let's all that stuff I did, because this is going to move forward anyway. Let's check it. Nope, that's fine. Okay, that's fine actually the way I had it, because this is stationary, this is slidey. Okay. All right, and then let's try this. So let's cut you. Problem is grippers are huge. Of course they are. So many of these parts they make are just oversized, and it's kind of a nightmare when the parts are that big. Okay. So might do. See, the problem with pistons, I can't hard connect pistons. They'd have to be connectors off of that. Let's try something here. All right. Come on. Symmetry's never on when I want it on. Now I'm on symmetry. So that would have to be on these. And I can't go past that, so that's fine. Oh, come on, man. Put it in the right block. There we go. All right. All right, so that's looking good so far. This gripper will go here. What I can actually do is if I turn them the other way, they'll kind of snap into position, and it's the most secure, but we'll try gripper breaking this and seeing if that works for me. All right, what we'll do is we'll make a quick microcontroller. I'm going to get into that anyway. And so this here will attach to there, and so this will be less powerful to slide it, but what it will do is it will with the grippers it will lock a little bit better. So make a real quick micro. All right, and so I'm just gonna make this micro white for now. All right, and so what I want to do is do this. So we'll go logic, composite input, seat. All right, move it down here a little bit, and then we'll go read on off. All right. Up down counter. So we'll make an increment of 1. We'll make an increment of 0.1. And we'll enable the clamp for negative 0.1 to 0.1. So move it a tenth. If I press 1, it will go forward. If I press 2, it will come back. And if this is, okay, so let's see, and if it's, let's do a Boolean. So we'll go like that, and then so if it's, so if it's not X or Y, so if it's not X or Y, it will reset. So pretty simple there. If it's not X or Y, that will reset. And so it'll shut off, that'll be 0. Then what we want to do is if this is, so we do a threshold gate, if this is 0, so as though if there's no signaled movement in there, this is going to lock the brakes. That's going to lock the gripper brakes. So if that's a 0, we'll lock gripper brakes. All right, and then we need a number. That will be linear track speed. And that will go here. All right, and so let's update that. All right, so let's go put this in the main body here. Let's slim it down. That's all I'm going to do for this one anyway, so. Okay, and then so we'll go like that, update that, and then I need to put this in the main body. So stick it here for now, and then I can, because of its slim size, I can easily hide it later, anywhere really. All right, and then let's go composite into here. Okay, and then this will go gripper brakes. So right here is the brake. All right, and then we'll go to linear track speed. We'll go there. All right, let's give it a look or looky-loo and see. So as you can see, it's not tipping as much as it was. That was laying on the section there. These arms are laying and touching there. They're not doing that anymore, so they're more stable. So let's go ahead and we'll go left, right, moves this section, so that will go up. Okay, now I'm going to slide it forward. So that's moving much better. I'm going to let go of it. All right, now let's go up with the whole unit to see if it misbehaves now as I get a little gravity. All right, so see now how it's staying in place? So the grippers are working better for that. Okay, that's good. All right, so the next thing I want to set up on the seat is going to be trigger. Trigger is going to be, I think I'll make that drill. So we'll make that drill. I was going to do it something different, but 6 will be park brakes. Okay, 6 will be park brakes. And so we'll go to 6 for now. And that will just be the park brakes, and that locks the tracks up. A lot of people don't understand. You can click on these, you can do grip and track tension, and then you can XML edit the grip if you want more grip. So if you're sliding around with your tracks, you can XML grip. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Functionally, this should be pretty good. So let's get some microcontrollers going to get this running. So what do I need? This will hold, like I said, 230 units. So what I really want to do is I want to turn on these spinners. I want to turn on this funnel. And that will move it from... actually, I don't. I want to turn on the spinners. That will fill these up. When these fill up, I want these to shut, everything to shut down because I don't want to waste. And then when I select, I want to dump out to the vehicle, it will turn on this funnel, and this funnel. All right, so that's what I'll do. So let's do another black microcontroller here. Stick it back here for now. All right. So we'll do, for now, we'll do seat. I may change it to panel later, but that's going to be seat. And then I want to go out to, so it needs to be a number output, and that's spinners. We'll call them feeders. That's the feeders. And then we want an output to funnels. Okay, output to the funnels, like so. All right, good. So let's do that for now, and then I want to quickly look at how do I power the, how am I powering the actual drive system on here? That's important. So if I can get them through here, I want to get them through here. I'm actually close to being able to do that. Actually, I'm pretty close to being able to do that. Because I need to just go there, up into here. Okay, so I may be able to do this. We have to do a little cutting here. So let's go cut this. And cut that. I can just cut those all together. And then this one here needs to move. I can't see anything. Okay, right there. Cut that. Wish there was an option you could click so that when you are trying to selection grid stuff, it will kind of block out the other crap so you can just do it. All right, so this gives us less slide range, but it's still giving us, what is that, 1, 2 slide range. I think that's all we're going to need. And this hopefully should allow us to power this, through power this, and I don't have to put, you know, it's easy to do electrically, but I want to kind of, I might do direct drive if I can and do electric tracks, because the tracks won't run very often. The drive system for the drills will run quite often, so. All right, where is the front port on these? That's important. So if they slide there, so it's going to crush if it slides there, so can't do that. And I'll have to get rid of that if I put them up here, which isn't the end of the world. Okay, good. Let's take this one and we'll cut it and we'll start rotating it forward until it's about, what do we want there? About there is good, I think. Yeah. Okay. Cut this one. Rotate it till it's there. All right, and then so I'll pipe these in. So this will just give me the option to run this how I want. Did I just screw myself up? Let's go back like this. Okay, that's fine. And then what I'll do is I'll bring this over the top. It'll come in here, so that's not a big deal. So that actually isn't a big deal. It was already kind of set up fine. So we'll just go in like this. All right. Up. All right. That's not going to work. It needs to go into here. Okay. So I kind of had the right idea. Okay. I had the right idea. All right, nice. So I'll just do it like this. That will work for me. The symmetry is coming on. Now let's do this instead, actually. Because this should be attached to... That's attached, so I kind of want it to look beefy, like it actually could hold the weight. Are we there? We are there. Okay. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, it's because it's on a slider. All right, so let's not worry about that. That's never going to work the way I want it to. Okay. It's not going to work the way I want it to, so that's fine. So just do that for now, just to kind of clean it up. So we'll make these electric. Wiggy, wiggy, wiggy. Or I'll put an engine right here. I might put a diesel right here that will power these. That would be kind of interesting. Maybe, yeah, maybe stick it there. All right, so that's actually not too bad. Let's finish up what I was doing here. Yeah, I needed that bigger slider to do it. So funnels, feeder, seat. I want to kind of get the whole notion moving here. All right, so trigger is going to be drills. So trigger is 31. So on, off, 31. The truck came along nicely. I got that up and running. I just connected panels, so it didn't miss much from the last episode of that. And so that truck will help to transpo now. All right, so the feeders are going to be a simple on-off switch. I just need to figure out their speed. They're real simple there. And I'll figure out the speed. So let's just say, I don't know. I don't want them eating up a ton of electricity, so like 0.3. And then the funnels will be a separate, let's say 4 maybe. So funnels will be 4. And that will dump. So the feeder system will get that on. Funnels will feed it all the way through the system. This will also turn on the drills. So I need to decide how I want to set up the drills. I think I'm just going to do electric. I think that's just going to be easiest. And then if I want to further complicate it later, I can. I'll do medium electric motor there. All right. And because that's going to be moving 3 drills. This is going to eat a ton of electricity like that. Let's just go to 1s for now. Because I'm never going to be able to produce enough electricity. All right, so let's do that. And then, so what I want to do is get that going. And I don't want it running too fast. Let's try running off the same speed as the feeders. So let's go ahead and we will connect the seat to here. So this will go to the feeders, and it will also go to these two motors here. And then this will be the funnels. So we'll go funnel, funnel, funnel. All right, and then so you need to go in the main body. Stick this over here for now. And so I just want to kind of get the guts done before the end of the video so we can kind of see how it's going to work. So let's go ahead and spawn it. All right, so we want to get moving a little bit here. I'm seeing how it's turning. It's turned slow, but it turns, as you can see. So it's moving. I don't want it moving super fast. You know, these are supposed to be slow-moving vehicles, so I kind of want it to move at a reasonable pace. And so let's say this back blue wall is where the coal deposit is. Okay. Was it 6 brakes? 6 of the brakes. Okay. Tap the brakes for a second and get it moving. So, okay, so it's hitting that microcontroller. I was wondering why it's moving so slow. It's hitting the microcontroller. Did not see that at first. All right, let's move it. So let's get it rolling first. Sometimes rolling helps, and then so we're just going to go over here by the door. We'll say that wall is the wall we want to drill. What is it hanging up on? It's hitting something. Yeah, it's okay. You know what it is? It's probably hitting the ground. Okay, it's the front hitting the ground. So I have an option for that to raise it. That was the whole reason I had it so I could raise it. Okay, so that was all the issue, is it was hitting, and I did solve that. Okay, so I turned on. So to see the drills moving. Drills are moving way too slow, but the feeders are moving. And then I'm going to want to raise the drills up, and I also want to push them forward. So what I can actually do is, instead of me manually pushing them forward, I could kind of get them so they auto, but I kind of like to do it myself. So as you can see, that's going to drill. It's going to fall straight down. Let's get off there, and I'll show you. It's going to drill the ores, in this case, the coal is going to fall straight down into here. It's going to get kicked into these funnels. It's going to go all the way to the end. Or it's going to get, it's going to be in those hoppers for now. Why are you going now forward? Okay. And then what do we have for... Okay, I haven't put in for the funnel for this yet, but we do have the funnel, which I think is 4, and that will dump out. So, see if it will dump all the way out. And so I want to make sure that this volume is going down. That's telling me it's going all the way through. Let me friggin' do it. Okay, so mineral hoppers are 0, so that went through. I think I set them to 0, but yeah, as you can see, that is working. So this is a working proof of concept. This should work well. So really all I need to do is I need to finish up a body for this, which it's not much of a body. There's going to be a gap in the middle so that this can go full extension up. It's going to go in there. I'm probably I'm wanting for space in the middle. So what I'll probably actually do is throw a diesel here, and it will diesel direct drive the drills, and then it will make excess electricity for running the tracks, because it's not going to be moving on the tracks very often. It's mostly just needs to move the drills. So what I'll probably do is put a modular diesel right here in this area, and then that will power the drills direct drive, and it will also make electricity to keep the batteries charged just to run the tracks, because that's going to be what's eating up the electricity. But hope you guys enjoyed that. That was kind of a cool mining vehicle. So the plan is, if I can get this done, be able to take this up it's one vehicle, goes up, drills, and it can dump. And then so what we need is a vehicle that we can fill with the spout on the back, and then we can go, and it's not a very long truck drive to go up to Komodo and sell it. We can also take a train, so we'd have to transfer to a train, or we can put it on a barge. But likely what's going to happen is just go ahead and put it on a truck and transport it out, sell it, and that gives us another source of revenue, another something to do, and break it up a little bit. Do a little bit of different gameplay. So hope you enjoy that, and I'll see you in the next one.